Mr. Jayant Krishna. He is CSIS India Chair. He is joining us on the broadcast for some perspective. Mr. Krishna, I appreciate your time and thank you for your patience in listening into the others. Let me ask you the broader question, sir. We keep talking about pivotal moments and defining partnerships and, the confluence of interests and all sorts of geopolitical logics. Is there a real perceptorial change that, this back office, Bangalore people are actually just about to become the fourth largest economy in the world? It's happening faster than maybe you and I are noticing, sir, let alone the Americans.
So, let me tell you, the backbone for IT and IT-enabled services that Indians provide to the US, let me tell you, US is not doing any favor to India by giving us that opportunity. The fact that so many Indians work for the tech industry in the US and the IT-enabled industry, it makes the American economy all the more stronger, much more stronger. If you look at the cost arbitrage, if you look at the skills deficit, I think there's a huge value that Indian diaspora directly being in the US or India through the back offices and IT back offices and BPO back offices in India that they render. I think it's a huge value add that our countrymen do to the US economy from a skills perspective, from a cost arbitrage perspective, from a quality perspective. So that's very important. And taking a thread out of what you asked me, I think therefore it's very, very important for reduction of immigration, impediments and the costs and so on and so forth. Because it's very, very good. Not that it will provide opportunities to Indians, but it does.
So, Mr. Krishna, how do we then face this dichotomy that we are talking about all these great things? And even at the strategic level, it makes perfect sense. But, if I go for an American visa appointment, I'm told come back, in 10 months time or, 14 months time. There's something broken. It almost seems that the US State Department is deliberately doing this because nobody else buys the argument that we can't find enough manpower.
Yeah, so I think that to my mind is ridiculous, absolutely ridiculous. Why can't the manpower augmentation happen in those high commissions and embassies of different countries, not just the US, where you are given a ridiculously long time, even before you could come for a personal appearance for visa? That is absolutely ridiculous. Why can't the same people working there show greater productivity? Let me tell you, the Indian embassies and Indian high commissions all over the world, they also face the same thing, large traffic of people who want to visit India. And they have lived up the value chain. They have moved up the value chain. They have doubled or tripled their productivity. The appointment time is much slower. So why can't American embassy also do that? I fail to understand.
Yeah, it almost seems rather deliberate, and that is which is very strange. Okay, now there are tens of thousands of various threads that make for an economic partnership. Not just one or two big ticket deals, but sometimes the big ticket deals do become anchor points, or they grab the headline, so people take a lot more interest in, perhaps if you're living in America, you suddenly start noticing, oh, hang on, maybe we should look at India, or vice versa. So how important is, for example, the GE thing or the Predator drone thing? Is it really important in the larger sense?
See, the fundamental issue is, let's understand what both sides want from each other.
Yeah.
There is a trade tension. There is no doubt about it. Tensions over India's, so-called protectionism, and US has also gone for some countermeasures like, the India's GSP trade preference, which needs to be revoked, and the special US tariff 232 program on steel and aluminum. So all those things have to be looked into very, very clearly. And in the recent past, not much has happened on the ground for resolution of these irritants. I would say it's some kind of a cold, simmering tension, though surely not a flashpoint at this point of time. But there is a simmering tension. If you look at the bilateral goods trade today in the last 12 months, the order of magnitude was of about $132 billion. And the funny part is, not many would realize that US imports nearly twice as much as it exports to India. So in other words, US is one of the major trade partners of India where India has a trade surplus. Because the kind of ITS exports that happen, the diamond exports happen, jewelry exports happen, mineral and metal exports that happen from India to the US. I think it makes the trade surplus in favor of India. So that has to be taken to the next level of maturity. But however, look at the size. If you look at China and versus US, I mean, for a moment, add a smaller component of Hong Kong also, and China and Hong Kong, if you treat it as one common trade bloc, then that is a larger trade bloc for India than the US. Not many people will understand. So, so how the trade as a percentage of GDP needs to go up, irritants need to be removed. That's
okay.
And
So
let me complete. Let me complete the last thing that I wanted to say about the foreign direct investment. Despite some mega ticket announcements like Apple's manufacturing plants into India, but the fact is, if you look at the last 12 months, the FDI, US FDI into India has declined. By about 22%, it has come to almost $47 billion. I think that is very, very important. India as a country has to do much more to show the hunger and attract more investments, because that is what India needs, more and more FDI.
That was going to be my next question, because yes, we have improved by leaps and bounds, but the touch point irritants still remain, and that's on us. There are people who do want to make the investment, and for economic reasons, and there are touch point irritants, and I know that translate down to the state, and there are complicated issues. But yeah, we need to be a good host when it comes to these investments. Appreciate your thoughts, sir, and the yeoman service that you and others are doing to take what is no doubt going to be a landmark economic association forward.
For more such videos, subscribe to the NewsX YouTube channel, hit the bell icon.